Hi, everybody. I'm here with Allison McCutcheon, and we're talking recruiter enablement. So, Allison, thank you for taking the time to join me and give us a quick introduction to you and your background and also what you're doing today.
Hi, Adam. Yes, my name is Allison McCutcheon, and I am the Chief Strategy Officer and People Officer for Largely. Largely is a communications platform that helps both talent and HR professionals really communicate in an authentic way across both the candidate and the employee lifecycle. Uh, I joined Largely about a year and a half ago, and uh, my background was, 20 plus years in HR and talent acquisition. I led talent acquisition most recently for Anheuser-Busch for North America. And that's how I was introduced to Largely and decided to join the team to help create a platform that can really help talent professionals.
Yeah, great. Anheuser-Busch, possibly most famous right now as the Bud Light company, right?
Yes, yes, I think
Yes.
so.
Okay, so what's recruiter enablement to you?
Uh, I think that recruiter enablement is thinking about your team and how you're going to set them up for success, right? So if you're leading an organization of recruiters, how are you making sure that you're giving them all the tools that they need to ultimately be successful?
Yeah. Okay, great. You've worked in a number of different talent acquisition environments. So, are there any specific things that you've done in different teams that you would always recommend, you would do again, and you would always recommend people do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on how you're segmenting your team, right? And how they're organized. But as my teams were organized relative to function or university recruitment or some sort of specialization, making sure that they had I think as you've phrased it before, just the marketing materials, if you will. Do they have the right pitch? Do they understand those proof points to share with a candidate when it comes time to really help influence their decision? Do they know what's available to them in terms of collateral? The last thing you want is a recruiter spending their time creating a deck or creating a one pager about a particular program, right? You want them to be recruiting and talking to candidates and getting the word out versus spending that more administrative time producing something. So really making sure that they've had the things that they need that are relative to their specialization. And then in addition to that, training. So
Yeah,
training that speaks to what they're doing. If you've got high volume hourly recruitment, it's a very different recruitment experience than executive recruiting or than
yeah,
university recruiting. So making sure that you're being intentional with a lot of the skills span everything, but there are a lot of focus areas that are important to really lean in on for your team.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean, a lot of the benefits that come from what you've just described is time saved, and therefore more time to be able to be spent on the qualitative things that recruiters need to do. And I don't know any recruiters that are not under pressure to do more with less right now.
Ever, right? When have recruiters ever had extra time on their hands? It's
Yeah,
it's pretty rare. There's always something for them to do.
yeah. The urgent, important list doesn't get shorter. So, okay, really interested to know a little bit. One last question I want to find out about. Um, on a slight change of subject, but your move from big company corporate, HRTA, you've made the move into the other side, onto the tech side, the provider side. Uh,
Yeah.
why the move, and what's your impressions been from the move?
Oh, amazing question. Why the move? First of all, the team that I get to work with, they are so fantastic and so talented. And to be able to do something and create something and kind of stretch and grow and flex some different muscles. I mean, I lead a go-to-market team now. Yes, there are so many comparisons for sales and recruiting, and
Yes.
you've made them, I've made them, everyone's heard of them. But
Yeah.
to really be building a business and to be building a team and to have the opportunity to do that and build a tech platform specifically for the things that, you know, I've done and people that I care deeply continue to do from a work perspective has just been incredibly rewarding. Now, going from having a tremendous amount of resources and brand recognition. I mean, when you pick up the phone and say, you know, I work at Anheuser-Busch, or you talk about Budweiser or what have you, it's a global brand. People know who you are and what you do. And it's certainly very different when you're at a startup and there are 10 of you and you're working to build that. But I wouldn't change a thing. It's been a tremendous experience.
Well, I would recommend everybody tries it, and it's definitely not for everybody. I know that. I've seen that. However, I think everybody should give it a go because it is a lot of fun. So, Allison, thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. It's been really great to talk to you about recruiter enablement, and look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, Adam.